He immediately showed a look of surprise. Position 1. You're here too. Fang Chen nodded, looking at the tightly closed gate of the mansion. A frown appeared. They might have already taken a bath inside. With a leap he jumped, silently jumped into the courtyard. At the same time, Chen family's backyard, Chen Yuqiu's chest was stained with a shocking red. Several guards in the mansion fell around, but he still tightly protected Chen Silin and Liu Qinmin behind him, coldly stared at the one-eyed old man in front. "What do you want?" "Take it yourself." "Why take a life?" Chen Yuqiu was extremely startled. He recognized it. "The people before me are no strangers. Isn't it only the Chen family that suffers from serious illnesses? The reason for attacking the Chen family? It is not easy to vent one's frustrations. Only orphans and widows are left in the Chen family. The reason it's easy to obtain. Only after breaking in did they realize. Chen Yuqiu actually woke up. He was once a master stationed at the second level of Jai, even after being unconscious for many days. But the foundation is still there, due to a moment of carelessness, this guardian. He died instantly from a blow to the heart. End of a strong bow. You are not worthy to negotiate terms with the forum master." The branch leader snorted coldly. The farmer rushed forward to catch the chicken. The fists, filled with powerful spiritual energy, struck fiercely. Han Jai revealed half of her body to Chen Si-ling. Chen Yuqiu was shocked. Clenching his teeth, with a thunderous roar, he threw 2 punches and stood firm. But his heavily injured body, how to be the opponent of the forum master? The stalemate lasted for just a moment. Then Tan Ju's fists smashed through Chen Yuqiu's arms, and only take its chest. In an instant, Chen Yuqiu spat out a mist of blood, brightly retreating. Liu Qinmin and her daughter were both pinned to the ground by the underworld behind them. The sub-forum master approached with a cold smile. "Confirm that Chen Yuqiu has no combat power. Caixing's scheme targets Chen Si-ling. What a lively girl! Just when my eyes went blind. I want a concubine to serve me from now on. I saved you." He bent down. A hand reached out to Chen Si-ling's shoulder. Chen Yuqiu was in a hurry. "I want to stop it," only to find that the bones in my chest were fractured. The body could no longer move. The moment of life and death. Suddenly a scream pierced the air. Chen Yuqiu and the branch leader conspired to forget. It turned out to be a graceful figure, slipped into the backyard mysteriously. An arrow pierced through the guard at the backyard gate. Blood Palace member's throat. "It's you." The division leader was furious. See through that mask, and the crystal clear digital consciousness above, in his cautious single eye, bursting with deep-seated hatred. Just at that moment of their surprise, Fang Zheng swiftly darted past, easily dealt with the last member of the blood-floating palace. "It's your turn." Fang Cheng raised the wooden sword. Yao Yao pointed to the sub-forum master, already reduced to a lonely and isolated forum master. "Furious in my heart. Just in time. Old grudges and deep-seated hatred. Let's settle this together today." He rushed over with big strides. The 5 spirits of the host's second layer continued to be projected outward. Dust swirled up from beneath my feet. Fang Chen was full of energy. Shenhe, cultivation begins to operate simultaneously. Meanwhile, his hand is the final move of the 7-star sword technique. 7 stars point north, a fierce sword aura. He spread his energy all round him. Only take his neck. The eyes of the branch leader flashed. Extremely rich combat experience. Let him decisively tilt his head back. Avoid this sword. Your cultivation has improved. Last time, The equation was still hard to approach. This time it almost took his vital point. One strike fails. Fang Chen was not the least bit distracted by his words. He decisively leaped backward. Can jumps away, a powerful whip of spiritual energy, just from the bottom up, brushed past his nose. Just a little more and I would have shattered the banner. The equation is quite dangerous. What the forum master just said, clearly distracting him. With a powerful kick, he aimed for his vital point, fighting against a strong warrior who has emerged from a pile of corpses. Must be fully alert. You're quite cautious, aren't you? Fan tan tan zhu lang lang yi han. But you can't escape your mistakes today. He charged forward fiercely once again. Just as the fists were about to strike him, suddenly a sword aura of spiritual energy came from behind. It was Liu Ryan who seized the opportunity. At the moment he exerted his strength, a sword pierced his back. Now he has reached the state of standing still. The sword energy is extraordinary. Easily broke through the spiritual energy that couldn't be dispelled last time. Only the settler can determine fate. The face of the sub-forum master looked slightly displeased, decisively abandoned the attack equation. As she lunged to the side, a backflip kick struck Liu Ryan's wrist. Liu Ryan was caught off guard, quickly sheathed the sword to prevent injuring my arm. But this move played right into the hands of the faction leader. He became emperor with a single hand, suddenly jumped up while inverted. The feet are in a scissor-like position. Clamp around his neck. The counterattack is not enough for a breath. Liu Ryan has limited practical experience. Where can we be on guard? It looks like I'm about to be strangled. Then the blood neck was twisted off. Suddenly, the forum master suddenly let out a pained cry. Only then did Fang Cheng arrive quietly, jump higher than him, and with a cunning stride, a sword pierced under his armpit. Severe pain forced the forum master to give up on Liu Ryan. Switch to defense. Kid, you're asking for trouble. This little injury. The branch leader did not take it seriously. The gaze became even more fierce. A cold light flashed in Fang Cheng's eyes. Damn you. He activated the lightning strike effect of the wooden sword without hesitation. Lust. A loud crackling sound of electric current. The current surged into the limbs of the branch leader, freezing them instantly. Let his body become stiff. He fell headfirst to the ground. This scene, Liu Ruyan stared in disbelief. Even more astonishing to Chen Yugyu. Fang Cheng unexpectedly took down the leader of the Fen Tan with a single sword strike. The equation showed no signs of stopping at all. He felt a moment of daze. Position 1 can actually take this person down head-on. Feng Jiang nodded slightly. Suddenly, the ears twitched. The expression changed slightly. Quick, get out of the way. He didn't even dare to draw his wooden sword. A backflip jumped out. The sub-leader, who should have had his heart pierced, jumped up unexpectedly, chasing the backward flying equation. The perfectly aligned fists struck fiercely. Little tidbits. You are damned. If it weren't for my heart being on the right side by nature, I'm completely at your mercy. It turns out the equation is just hearing the heartbeat. Only then did I realize something was wrong. My own sword. It should have precisely pierced the opponent's heart, but his heartbeat remained steady as ever. Fortunately, he reacted quickly. Otherwise, we might have capsized just now. But he no longer had a sword in his hand, unable to display swordsmanship. At this moment, angry roars echoed outside the Chen family's home. Blood-floating palace remnants. You all have lost your spirit. A powerful and resonant voice. Not the strongest in Lonely Boat City. Who is it this time? The face of the sub-forum master changed dramatically. Decisively abandoned the equation. Suddenly attacked by Liu Ryan beside her. Liu Ryan's expression stiffened. Immediately wielded the sword and attack, trying to delay it, waiting for Yi Jifen to make a move. But how could he be the rival of the sect master in just 3 to 5 rounds? And took advantage of the gap he created, seized the sword from my hand. The point was on his neck. Then he seized him in one smooth motion. Everyone push aside. Who dares to chase after? I killed him. Faced with the intruding Yi Jifen and other strong figures from Gaju City, the division's leader wielded the cold sword, tightly held against Liu Ryan's neck. A sharp blade. A vivid line of blood was drawn across his neck. The equation has its concerns. Dare not approach easily. Liu Ryan looked at the anxious state of position 1, ashamed of my own helplessness. With a firm resolve, a wooden sword gripped tightly at the chest of the Fan Tan Tan master. He pulled it out. Throw it to the equation. No, 1 shadow position. Don't mind me. Don't let him go. Yi Jifen, however, showed a look of apprehension. Thou cannot make a move. Liu Ru Yan is the designated disciple of King Yun sect. No room for error. Otherwise, the King Yun sect held accountable. He cannot bear the responsibilities of this city lord. The sub-forum master let out a cold laugh, cautiously holding Liu Ryan hostage, slowly leaving the Chen family, then jumped onto a horse, rapidly departing from lonely Boat City, rushing deep into the mountains and forests. Yi Jifen stuffed his mouth like a hole. The Tace. We can't let Liu Ryan get into trouble. Feng Cheng is also mingling in the crowd. The crowd followed the trail of the sect leader's blood, tracked deep into the mountains. It's just that. At a crossroads, everyone stopped in their tracks. Both are rugged mountain paths. Unable to determine which way the forum master ran. Such a ruthless existence. They dare not split their forces, to avoid being chased away one by one. At this moment, the cavalry captain stands before a fork in the road, found traces of having been cleaned. City lord, there are signs of pine needles being swept away. Everyone was taken aback. It seems the sub-forum master has also noticed their own blood. It may likely attract pursuit. So it was cunningly concealed. Chase. The city lord's golden light flashed, leading everyone to chase quickly. The equation also rushed along with them. But he slowly came to a stop, twice facing the master of the Fen Tan. The most memorable impression of the equation is from Kai Lao La. Such a person. Since you want to cover your tracks, how could there be any omissions? Alas, he deliberately revealed a hint of his true intentions. Draw away the pursuers. Fang Cheng wanted to call out to the city lord and others. Upon reflection, what if I guessed wrong? Let's split into 2 groups then. If they meet, many people make a strong force. It's not difficult to solve the division among the forum leaders. If one encounters it oneself, kill if you can. If you can't kill, then try to hold the opponent off as much as possible. I believe the city lord would also realize it at that time. Reinforcements are arriving. Thinking of this, he immediately left the group, chasing down another path. In the team, Ju Giant's gaze flickered. Silently choose another path. Quietly follow behind. Chased for half an hour. Fan Cheng suddenly noticed the leaves by the roadside. There are a few drops of fresh blood. His heart trembled. You guessed it right. This is the true escape route of the Fen Tan Tan Ju. Moreover, the blood drops along the way are increasing. A glimmer of excitement in the air. It seems that my sword. It's not as easy as the forum master claims. Although it did not pierce the heart, but it definitely injured vital organs. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such relentless bleeding. At this moment, the strength should be much weaker than before. I can't help it. He followed the trail of blood, arrived at the entrance of a cave. The entrance is prominently carved with the words Floating Cloud Cave. By the cave, it is the horse abandoned by the side, nibbling on the wild grass by the roadside as if nothing happened. The lair of the Blood Palace. Fang Jiang was slightly taken aback. He remembered the jade orb that accompanied Liu Ryan's birth. That esteemed person spoke rumors in the jade pearl. By myself in the floating cloud cave of the Xiangtian mountain. Left him some things. Erfu Yundang. Later it became the lair of the Blood Palace. Is the blood floating palace occupying this place? Is it a coincidence? He focused intently, cautiously slipped into the cave. After the siege by the Qingyan sect, a duplicate has already been created in the cave. Everywhere is ash. And I also heard the voice of the sub-forum master. Damn it. Why can't it still be opened? Fang Cheng quietly approached. Hidden in the darkness, gaze intently. There was a huge square inside the cave. There stands a statue. Liu Ruyan was thrown aside, tightly bound. Life is not dangerous. The sect leader knelt before the statue, blood flowing endlessly, feeling around on the base, trying to open something. The equation flashed in surprise. Could it be beneath the base? It is the item left behind by that master. The reason the Blood Palace has taken root here. It is just to uncover the secret. Mo Dai. Suddenly, a reckless sound of footsteps came from outside the cave. Immediately alerted the subsect leader. Well, Fang Chen furrowed his brows and looked back. The person who came was Zhu Jian Shen. He did not discover the equation hidden in the shadows. Seeing that the sub-forum master was gravely injured, could not help but sneer. Alha. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the yellow sparrow behind. The head of the sub-forum master. It's mine. Returning to Qingyan sect with a severed head. Will receive endless rewards. Want to take my head. You think you deserve it? The forum leader's gaze sparked a dispute. Immediately jumped up. Such skills. Not at all like someone who is seriously injured. Zhu Jianshan's gaze trembled. Gathering courage, he said, I am a proud disciple of the Qingyan sect. Assistant mechanic. Are you still afraid of a wounded Blood Palace, Ramid? Draw the Zhu sword. He rushed forward, took the initiative to fight with him. Can we engage in a fight? Zhu Jianshan realized he had underestimated the current strength of the subtemple leader, even with wounds, yet still formidable. 10 moves later, Zhu Jianshan became increasingly alarmed as he fought. The other party is extremely experienced. He almost lost his life several times. Fang Chan observed in the shadows. A hint of joy. The strength of the sub-forum master has decreased quite a bit. Zhu Jian is able to fight with him for 10 rounds. If it were the time of complete victory, his performance won't be any better than Liu Ruyan's. At this moment, the division's leader caught Zhu Jian's flaw. A sharp slap landed squarely on his right arm. Click. In an instant, his arm was violently shattered by the force. The whole person fell backward beside Liu Ryan. Liu Ryan's directory, the color of the western extremity. Young Master Zhu, don't be afraid. He is already at the end of his row. What he just displayed was his strongest ability. It will only get weaker from here. Along the way, he watched as the branch leader bled profusely. Her vitality has waned by more than half. Now I'm relying solely on my stubbornness to hold myself up. In fact, it can't win much battle power at all. But the head of the division came rushing in amidst the clamor. That way, Zhu Jian felt a tingle on his scalp. There is not a trace of fighting spirit. Get up and run. But as soon as he turned around, he left his back to the branch leader. Go to hell. The condescending smile of the forum master. Zhu Jian realized the extreme danger. With a gritted teeth, unexpectedly took an action that no one anticipated. He unexpectedly hooked his toes. Lift Liu Ruyan, blocked between themselves and the branch leader. Regardless of the situation behind me. Turn and run. Here. Liu Ruyan could only call out once. Was struck by the terrifying power of the division leader. He rolled out groaning in pain. Zhu Jian does not care at all about Liu Ruyan's life or death. The restless souls are rushing out. Just as he ran outside the square, a figure rushed past him like a flash of lightning in the dark. A hand caught Liu Ruyan, who was rolling in the air. Shadow position 1. Zhu Jianshan was taken aback. Fang Chen glared at him with cold eyes. Zhu Jian feels anxious. Dare not linger. Immediately fled like a puff of smoke. Soon the sound of urgent horse hoofs faded away outside the cave. You're such a waste. The one who said this is the branch leader. He spat forcefully, turning to Fang Chen. Though there is much hatred in the eyes, yet not a trace of heart is extinguished. He clutched the bleeding wound in his chest. The figure swayed. Some are unable to stand firm. As Liu Ruyan said, he has lost half of his vitality. Actually, there's not much comeback power left. I never expected to fall into the hands of a kid who hasn't even grown all his hair yet. I really can't accept this. He staggered in front of the statue, kneeling helplessly before the statue, gently caressing the base. If I can unlock the mechanism here, no one can kill me. The leader of the Xingyan sect is not capable. Fang Chen walked over with a wooden sword. He decisively thrust a sword into his right chest. The sub-branch leader tried hard to avoid, but I really have no strength left. I just fought with Zhu Jianshan. It was already his last bit of strength. With a sudden thud, the forum master fiercely wanted to counterattack. It is left behind from the multiple attempts of the Blood Palace to pry it open. After a brief moment of thought, he took out the jade bead. After comparison, I found the jade bead was just the right size for the round hole. He tried to push the jade bead in. Suddenly, the statue's pedestal let out a loud rumble. It unexpectedly triggered some kind of mechanism. The entire statue along with its pedestal, slowly turning, revealed a small underground room gradually expanding to 3 zhang. A mysterious long sword emitting a purple glow is inserted in the city center. Death, spirit energy. It turns out to be premium spiritual energy, the last breath of the forum's moderator. Red eyes widened, arriving in Ziyang. Fang Chen was also taken aback. The wooden sword in his hand. It's just the lowest grade magical artifact. In the lonely boat city. A unique existence. Even in the Qingyan sect. The highest level. I'm afraid it is also a magical artifact. Right now. But it is a spirit tool. Still top-notch spiritual energy. He couldn't help but feel his heart race. Immediately after that, Fang Chen saw the purple sword nearby. 2 jade boxes lay on the ground. One of them was filled with liquid. Another contains 2 mysterious pills that are not red. Fang Chen, as a soul master, I didn't recognize it at all. Fen Tan Tanju's pupils constricted. Exclaimed, the rumors were not wrong. Here, there is a rootless heavenly water that enhances assistance and progress. There is still more. There are still divine objects that can enhance spiritual roots. Tui Fan Dan, Danyu, I am the pride of the heavens. He is the pride of heaven. It is mine. It's all mine. He struggled to crawl towards the secret room. Unfortunately, he ultimately perished through tribulation, reluctantly fell before the secret room, a pair of eyes wide open. Unwilling to close my eyes, he pursued the treasure of a lifetime. Surprisingly, it was obtained by a young man. How can one close their eyes? Fang Chen's gaze was intense. I am about to jump down to get it. Suddenly, noisy sounds came from outside the cave. The city lord finally reacted. Brought people here for support. He didn't have time to grab these things. Quickly retrieve the jade pearl. The statue immediately began to turn. Cover the secret room again. When Yi Jifen led the powerful ones to arrive, only Fang Chen saw a flower. The rolling heads of the Fan Tan master fell down. Many strong individuals were shocked on the spot. He killed the master of Fenton. Shadow position 1. Who exactly are you? In the crowd, as Zhu Jian returned with the main force. The regretful place has been cleared. The first shadow position ended the battle so quickly. The strength of the Fan Tan Tan master is evident, just as Liu Ryan said. There's hardly anything left. You wasted a great achievement for yourself. Gave the number 1 shadow position. Damn it. But he soon realized, since the Fan Tan Tan master was killed by the number 1 shadow position, then it means he failed the task assigned to the Liu family. Tomorrow I will go to the Liu family to demand heads. Can't deliver. The Liu family is just waiting to sit in prison. At that time, Liu Ruxu's mother. It's still not my task to toy with. Outside the cave entrance, in the sky, on the back of a blue eagle, Chen Jingdao and Liu Qingxian stood side by side, overlooking the situation below. The commotion in the city is so loud, it's hard for both of them not to notice. This is the first shadow position. You have some skills, not reaching the assist scope. Surprisingly succeeded in killing a second-tier martial artist. Chen Jingdao spoke with an appreciative tone. Liu Qingxian also looked on with admiration, although relying on magical artifacts, and there is also an element of luck involved, but excels in all aspects. It must be an old martial artist who has trained for many years. The performance is indeed remarkable. Immediately, he thought of Zhu Jianshen, eyes filled with disgust. In contrast, the outer disciple of our Qingyan sect, it's unbearable to look at. Chen Zhendao furrowed his brows. This is called Zhu Jianshen. In times of danger, it's better to flee. Also abandoned fellow disciples to be killed by the enemy. Such people. In the future, it will surely become a disaster. You handle him personally. Liu Qingxian nodded slightly. Yes, Qingxian understood. The two of them observed for a while longer. Confirm that there are no remaining traces of the blood-floating palace. Chen Zhendao, let's go. Continue to keep watch on the 3-star soul master and that extraordinary heavenly teacher of the Xinglong Dao. He rides the blue eagle, ready to turn back. Suddenly, the jade pendant at her waist flashed urgently and emitted a buzzing vibration. The leader urgently summons. Chen Zhendao's expression changed slightly. Non-extraordinary matters. The master will not send an urgent message. He quickly took off the jade pendant. Crush it between 2 fingers. The trembling echoes surrounding. It condenses into a brief statement. Xu Zhao suddenly appeared. Quick return. Chen Zhengdao's expression changed dramatically. Xu Zhao, death, 100 years later. Is Xu Ko going to appear again? He did not dare to hesitate. I must return to Tanji Pavilion immediately. That soul master, I can no longer stay hidden. And you, I believe I will soon be summoned back by the Qingyan sect. Liu Qing's eyes glimmered with seriousness. Shu Zhao is an extinction-level disaster. No force can remain uninvolved. He said with sweaty palms, "Uncle Chen, you go back first. I, I went to find that 9-rank spiritual root. Let's just go back. That unparalleled genius of the deep dragon path. He has already waited in despair. We can only settle for second best. Find that person with the 9th grade spiritual root. This person has seen him once. If we meet, I can definitely recognize it. Chen Jingdao's sweaty hands. Take him back to Guzhu City." He soared into the clouds. The strong ones of Guzhu City. He returned to Guzhu City with a spirited heart. That night, Lord Yi Jifen announced, "The blood-floating palace has been completely destroyed," and hold a grand banquet, breaking through the barriers and emerging, welcoming Lu Zheng, the old monster with a 9th grade spiritual root. Couldn't help but venture out again, personally attend the banquet. Their purpose: nature is not about eating and drinking, but rather curious about this reliance on one's own strength. The young disciple of the heavenly sect killed the branch leader. At the banquet, Liu Ryan wakes up, looking at number 1, Yin Wei, beside me, toasting to the respect of all the strong in the city. Unavoidably, a wave of confusion washed over me. Take action. Most likely, you'll end up stumbling on the steps. Fall to death. Looking at the mask in front of me, he was extremely curious. Beneath this mask, what does she look like? Kaju City. When did such a genius arise that he could only look up to? Unfortunately, no chance to know again, because of the original intention of the Yin Guard's establishment. It is to eliminate the remnants of the blood-floating palace. Now, clearing out the remnants, after the banquet, Yin White team will disband on its own. A wave of melancholy washed over me. He raised his glass. Duh. Will we meet again? Fang Chen smirked at the corner of his mouth. Aren't we seeing each other every day? Fate, perhaps. He responded calmly. Liu Ryan felt even more despondent. Raise your glass. But I hope we have the chance to continue our cooperation. Salute. Fang Chen drank it all in one go. Yin White team also followed as expected. Silently dispersed after the banquet. Yi Kingsu allowed them to each keep their masks. In commemoration. After all, this mask. It is the glory of the young talents from Guizhou City. Midnight. Fang Chen deliberately slowed his pace. It had been a long time since Liu Ruyan returned to Liu Manor. Just took off the mask in the alley, returning to the residence as if nothing had happened. Didn't expect that. Liu Ruyan actually didn't sleep, but instead he practiced swordsmanship in the courtyard, Tixi. It seems to be venting the emotions inside. Seeing Fang Chen return, his expression turned slightly cold. "Where are you going? You came back so late." Fang Chen rolled his eyes. Wrote, "You can't control me." Liu Ruyan remained silent, with a flick of the toes. He picked up an extra sword from the ground and threw it to Fang Chen. "Practice swordsmanship with me." Fang Chen held the sword, speechless. "Who wants to practice swordsmanship with you?" He turned and left. Liu Ryan didn't care whether he agreed or not. He lunged forward with the sword. Fang Chen was both curious and amused. I don't know what got into him tonight. It was completely impossible for him to practice swordsmanship together in the past. I saw him thrusting his sword forward. Fang Chen instinctively executed a solitary star strike. He knocked the sword out of his hand. Liu Ruyan was taken aback. "Why does this feel so much like position 1? I completely forgot to switch identities." Fortunately, Liu Ryan drank a lot of wine at the banquet. clearly intoxicated, not quite clear-headed. "You must have mistaken me. How could you possibly be involved in the #1 shadow position? He is so amazing." "But you just paused for a moment." Liu Ruyan stopped speaking. The stranger casually dropped the sword. "Forget it. I won't practice any more." Watching him leave, Fang Chen looked at the moon and sighed, holding the sword in hand. The three trials of the careful sword technique perform a coherent interpretation once. Graceful demeanor, the sword's momentum is like a rainbow. Back in the house, Fang Chen tossed the head of the division leader onto the floor. He took out a bottle of But Dan. This breakthrough has struck. Fang Chen was a bit excited. Since the moment the seed sprouted, he dreams of achieving success in his endeavors. Only by assisting can we strike. You can only go to the tree in Taixu Valley, picking various mysterious fruits. Carrying excitement, he swallowed the butt pill in one gulp. The powerful and fierce effects of the medicine, raging like a flood within, causing an intense and unbearable feeling of swelling pain in his body. Tear, breakthrough assist. So it hurts this much. Sweat beads quickly appeared on his forehead, resembling small pimples. But thinking about the benefits after the assist. Just endure the intense pain and the powerful medicinal effects. It continued until midnight, when his face turned pale, when soaked all over. A mouth appeared in the dantian. This is the sign of assistance. Ling Chai, the spiritual energy once stored in the meridians, all liquefied, gathered in the spirit pool. At this moment, the spiritual energy. It is even better than when reaching the 9th layer of Kai training perfection, increased by 2 times. If I encounter a master like Fen Tan Tanju again, I can't say I can win. At least it won't be so difficult anymore. Fang Chen's confidence soared. Immediately after that, he couldn't wait to use the assist dancer, a capability that has just been acquired. Inner vision. As the eyes close, his consciousness gradually penetrated the flesh, delving into corruption, and within the corruption, I saw a pitch-black space, a mouthful of ice, spraying water with a hissing sound. It is indeed the spirit pool of assistance, but the whole eye is beside, a towering fruit tree. Straight to the sky, he excitedly arrived under the fruit tree, looking at a fruit tree from a distance, and the high-level mental techniques sealed within. The dragon-seeking classic. Unavoidably, my mouth felt dry. He tried to leap forward. This time it was not like before. An invisible force was suppressing him. He jumped up lightly. In an instant it seized the fruit. Pull hard. He pulled it down, finally obtained it. Fang Chen was filled with excitement. This book contains advanced techniques of the mystical heart method. The speed of cultivation is astonishing. Pick one. I'll send another one. Taking a closer look, the pupils contracted. Mysterious high-level techniques. You have the dragon's palm. Just a book of mysterious heart methods. Another long law book has come again. It seems that even the Qingyan sect may not have it. The existence of advanced cultivation techniques. Fang Chen's heart raced. Can't help but look up at the sky again. Try to climb up, harvest more fruits. I barely climbed a few steps. Once again I felt that oppressive force. Jai Den mirror. You may continue picking. A reminder sound appeared. Fang Chen feels a great sense of regret. Couldn't help but glance at the nearest fruit. I don't mind. At first glance, I couldn't take my eyes off it. Earth-level low-rank soul technique. Soul chopping technique 3. 4. It turns out to be a soul secret technique. It's still at the prefecture level. Fang Chen inhaled deeply, feeling refreshed. Soul technique, undoubtedly the most mysterious. The best way to vent without hurting the enemy, often able to kill invisibly, possessing a soul power beyond the ordinary. If I continue to cultivate the secret arts of the soul, isn't it just thinking about it? Fang Chen felt dry and parched. Unfortunately, must refine the Dan nearer to obtain it. He could only regretfully withdraw his gaze, looking at the two fruits in the palm. How can I obtain the sealed technique inside? Did you eat it all? He tried to take a bite. A portion of the cultivation technique information has now filled my mind. Take another bite. A little more. Fan Chen, what a wasteful way to handle good things! After eating the two fruits, he became aware of returning to his body. Open your eyes and look. There are no fruits in the palm, but in my mind there were two complete sets of techniques. Dragon seeking classics. Let me try and see what is different about the advanced heart technique. He rubbed his hands together eagerly, but at that moment there was a rapid knocking at the door. Xiao Chen, Zhu Jian Shen has arrived. Fang Chen opened his eyes wide, can only temporarily set aside the thoughts of cultivation. Opening the door, I saw Liu Ruxu was found holding a bundle in her arms. Without further ado, it was stuffed into Fang Chen's embrace. You should leave now. I am going to be implicated by our Liu family. Feeling the heavy burden, and revealed a large foot tone. Fang Chen couldn't help but feel a sense of fullness in his heart. This is not just Liu Ruxu. It's also what Liu Zhenyan means right. They took the valuable items from the Liu family's home. Gave it all to myself. Make a quick getaway. After all, he hasn't officially become a member of the Liu family yet. Qingyan sect will not put out a bounty on him. Why do you have to leave? Fang Chen smiled faintly. Just right. I want to be with this young Master Zhu. It's time to do some serious accounting. A cold glimmer flashed in his eyes. If one doesn't rely on luck, cut off the division and the marbles. What fate awaits the Liu family? What will be as fate? Such a person should be taught a lesson. Ignoring Liu Ruxu's advice, he picked up the bundle from under the bed, arrived at the lobby. At this moment, there were no traces of the Liu family in the hall. Only Liu Zhenyan's deputy stood there, preparing to face the devastating fire alone. Zhu Jian Shen led his men, stormed in aggressively. Liu Zhenyan, do the Liu family members run pretty fast? Liu Zhenyan was expressionless, a mindset that sees everything with an open heart. Early in the morning, he dismissed all the members of the Liu family. Prepare to be on your own, facing alone. Zhu Jianshen, you are abusing the power of the Qingyan sect. Karma will come back to haunt you sooner or later, Liu Zhenyan said coldly. Zhu Jianshen's face showed a hint of blood. Retribution. Getting on in years. Still believe in such childish words? Useless waste without ability. Only then can one comfort oneself like this. Liu Zhenyan clenched his fist. He really wanted to rebut. But the truth is indeed like this. In this world, there is no such thing as retribution. There is only. Good people don't die, but their misdeeds last for 1,000 years. Zhu Jianshen pulled up a stool and sat down. Crossing my legs, I said, moreover, I, Zhu, am carrying out the orders of the Qingyan sect. Who will pull? No one can say I'm wrong. Now I have to run an errand. Where is the head of the sub-forum master? Liu Zhenyan's eyes revealed a cold expression. Not available. The head of that branch forum master. How can the Liu family achieve this? Don't say he is injured. This is the peak state. None can possibly rival that sect leader. Zhu Jianshen laughed heartily. Since that's the case, Zhu can only handle it officially. The Liu family did not complete it as scheduled. Task assigned by Qingyan sect? According to the law, confiscate property and question the accused. Come on. The Liu family's property has been sealed off. Splashing sound. The people he brought immediately charged like a wolf or tiger towards the Liu family's various locations. Full of excitement, the act of looting a home is such a dirty business. It's quite rare, isn't it? Liu Zhengyan opened his mouth, but did not stop. Anyway, important possessions. They have already taken the clan members away. Zhu Jianshan's face revealed a hint of blood. Slightly smiling, they said, "Do you feel that? The Liu family members have all fled with their belongings. It doesn't matter anymore." Liu Zhengyan suddenly had a bad premonition. Zhu Jianshan mockingly clapped his hands. "Bring it over. Let the Liu family head take a look." Another group of people entered from outside the door. They each tied up someone with a bruised face. The prisoner with a shaved head and unkempt hair. Among them was Wang Qingfeng. There are many members of the Liu family. Except for Liu Ryan, everyone is present. Liu Zhengyan was taken aback. "Why didn't you run away?" Zhu Jian's laughter echoed. "Okay, I had already set a trap outside your Liu residence. Except for Liu Ruyan, no one from the Liu family is getting away." However, Zhu Jian's smile quickly faded. Zhu Jianshan took a look. It turns out that the equation held Liu Ruxu's hand. Walked over leisurely. "Zhu Jianshan, you are looking for me." Fang Cheng picked up a piece of paper. A hint of fierce color curled at the corner of her mouth. So-called enemies meet, especially envious. Zhu Jian's cold laughter echoed. "All right, you have a certain kind of courage." Surprisingly, they didn't leave. "Then I will fulfill your wishes. Come on, catch him." Rebellion against rebellion. No mercy, no discussion. "What are you talking about?" "He wants to die from the equation." Fang Cheng wrote expressionlessly. "Why are you arresting me?" Even when faced with death, he still refuses to back down. Zhu Jianshan smiled and said, did you manage to take down the division leader?" "Can't get it. You are disregarding the orders of the Qingyan sect." "I won't catch you." "Who else did they catch?" Liu Zhengyan felt anxious deep down. "Let the equation go. Why isn't he leaving?" "You can take a look without revealing anything. All the captured clansmen have been brought back." He sighed helplessly again. "Even if I leave, the equation will still be brought back. The fate of the Liu family has already been sealed." But just as Liu Zhengyan, when all the members of the Liu family felt an overwhelming sense of despair, Feng Chen lightly dropped the burden in his hands. Thrown in front of Zhu Jian, a piece of paper unfolds in hand. "Zhu Da Vongzi. Take a look." Zhu Jianshan was taken aback. "Otherwise, where did the heads come from?" Fang Zheng leisurely sat down. "Raise a bowl of tea." Expressionless. "The meaning is, you can see for yourself." Zhu Jian's smile deepened even further. He laughed heartily. "All right. Since you won't shed tears until you see the coffin, then I'll fulfill your wish. Come on, take out the head and have a look. Look at our young master Fang. What kind of trophy do you plan to use to fool us? Could it be made of mud?" His followers couldn't help but burst into laughter. A trusted confidant immediately stepped forward, unwrapped the burden, but was surprised too. The young master truly is a head of a person. Zhu Jianshan continued to laugh heartily. "Not bad. At least they used a real human head. However, you think you can get away with this? I'm very sorry. I have fought with the moderator of the subforum. His appearance. I know. Upon hearing these words, the hearts of the Liu family sank. They also thought that the equation was meant to confuse and mislead. Let today's events be brushed aside. I didn't expect that. Du Jianshen is indeed so powerful. Once personally battled with the branch leader. It's all over now. Not only did they fail to deceive everyone, I also have to bear the shame of deceiving the Qingyan sect. The guilt will only grow heavier. Zhu Jian is in a great mood. A handful of hair is yanked up. Mockingly said, "Let me take a look. Is this the head of the sub-forum moderator? If it weren't for, you are truly the best of the best." However, when the swaying head comes to a halt, when it was revealed in front of Zhu Jian, that ferocious one, ferocious face, the eyes that refused to close even in death, Zhu Jian's spirit was completely frightened away. The memory of our confrontation immediately resurfaced in my mind. The other party looked as if they wanted to eat someone. He let out a terrified scream, threw away the head in hand. An abrupt action. Let the Liu family members. It also left Zhu Jian's men stunned in place. What's wrong with him? Haven't you seen a human head before? I can't believe it scared me like this. Fang Cheng leisurely took a sip of tea. With a half smile, they picked up the pen. It seems. Young masters, you recognized it. Zhu Jian felt a lingering fear. He didn't dare to look at the crowd again. How can I say? Can be recognized at a glance. This is the head of the branch leader. Looking at the mocking words of the equation, he had a solemn expression. Duh, this is impossible. I saw it with my own eyes. The head was severed by shadow guard number 1. Why did it end up in your hands? Everyone was also shocked. This head is actually real. However, since it was killed by shadow guard number 1, why did the head fall into the hands of the equation? Fang Ji smiled. Raising the pen, you don't need to worry about this. You gave a task to the Liu family. It's just about taking the head of the sub-forum master. How did you get it? It has nothing to do with you. Classical Chinese. The Liu family suddenly gasped. Liu Zhengyan exclaimed with surprise. Yes, as long as it can be done. Qingyan sect used to assign tasks. It is the same. No matter the process. Only look at the results. Even if we have invited the number 1 shadow guard, you have no right to question it. Release my kin at once. Be careful, I will report you to the Qingyan sect. Zhu Jianshen's followers. Immediately feeling guilty, he let go of the Liu family member. Dare not trouble you anymore. It was indeed like that in the past. Some tasks are extremely difficult. The family confronted with the task must spend a huge amount of money. Please bring a master for assistance. Qingyan sect has never expressed its significance. It can be considered as an acceptance. But Zhu Jianshen could not accept it. He repeatedly. Yet they still couldn't do anything about the little Liu family. Who told you to release him? Zhu Jian raised his hand for a slap. Send a nearby attendant flying away. A pair of eyes glimmered with a faint red. Le stared fiercely at Fang Cheng. I don't care about the rules of the Qingyan sect. My rule is my rule. I want the head of the person personally taken by your Liu family. Others have taken it. I refuse to acknowledge any of it. Come on, take down the Liu family. Who dares to resist? No mercy in killing. The Liu family was filled with shock and anger. Liu Zhengyin shouted, Zhu Jianshen, you are being reckless. He really didn't expect it. Zhu Jian's audacity was astonishing. Even the rules of the Qingyan sect are disregarded. Zhu Jianshen kicked the stool under him away, furious and soaring. He Dao, what if I'm reckless? Liu Zhengyin was sent flying several meters away by a single palm strike, spitting blood continuously. Zhu Jian Shen looked around cautiously, killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Who else wants to resist? Stand up. The Liu family members were as quiet as cicadas in winter. Even the strongest Liu Zhengyin was injured, let alone them. The attendants had no doubts, pouncing on the Liu family like wolves and tigers. Suddenly, a subordinate lunging towards Liu Ruxu, with brittle legs carrying broken bones. Screaming, he was thrown out. Zhu Jianshan turned his head to take a look. It turns out it was Fang Cheng who acted, smiling instead of getting angry. A strong competitive spirit shone in his eyes. Good, very good. Openly defying the orders of King Yan sect. Hey, I, Zhu Jian, enforced the sect rules. Grant you a death. He couldn't wait for Fang Cheng to take action. Only then can we kill him justifiably. Fang Cheng put down the teacup. Rising tall, her gaze fell softly upon him. Jot down a note casually. Kenai. Zhu Jian's anger subsided. A worthless person. When did you dare to question me, a disciple of the Qingyan sect? Good today. I'll let you see for yourself. My strength, Zhu Jian Shen. Yan Bai. The fist was wrapped in a strong force. Good night. Who made you so reckless? Fight with me, Zhu Jian. Go to hell. Fang Cheng stands still. Not a single movement, until Zhu Jian's fist struck 3 inches from his chest. Fang Cheng just raised his palm, stretching out slowly and steadily, caught his fist with one hand. Zhu Jian's heart secretly scoffed. Truly inexperienced. Such a fist. Dare to resolve it with a firm hand. This will break your fingers. He suddenly exerted his strength with a smile. Let the equation experience the pain of a severed finger. However, the next moment, he couldn't smile anymore. An even pure spiritual energy than his. From the palm of the equation, a surge arises, infused into the 5 fingers. With a flick of his fingers, like an iron clamp, he clenched his fist tightly, no longer able to exert even a bit of strength. At the same time, Fang Cheng finally looked at him directly, in the indifferent gaze, with a hint of chill. The meaning is, isn't it surprising? Zhu Jianshan tried to withdraw his fist, but was surprised to find the proud dancer of the striking realm. Unexpectedly, the fist was lightly caught by the equation. What's wrong with you? He became a bit flustered. At this moment, I just remembered that there's still a fist I can use, waving towards the equation. Unfortunately, it is too late. The equation arm exerts force and drags. Let Zhu Jian's body move forward like a hunting arrow. Then a powerful knee strike. Hit right in the abdomen. Oh, in an instant. Zhu Jian was bent over in pain like a shrimp. Dare to be more than just a moment. He is annoyed. A disciple of the Qingyan sect. I was easily outmatched by someone who was once considered useless. That's enough. He let out a furious roar. Release the surging assisting spiritual power. Broken Star Pointer actually used a technique. Moreover, it's a royal grade intermediate cultivation technique. Fang Cheng remained calm and composed. Even had the leisure to write a note. Incompetent fury. Yan Bai, freely display your skills. He advanced with an unexpected speed. A slap landed on his face. Zhu Jian's body was filled with disbelief. He used his agility, in the strongest state. I was even slapped in the face. I feel a burning pain. Stimulating his self-esteem. Let him jump in fury. Roared, I killed you. Asterisk sound of a slap, asterisk. The response to him was another resounding slap. Zhu Jian's anger was explosive. Angry words. You must die. Today must die. Asterisk sound of a slap. Asterisk. Once again a slap. No matter how Zhu Jian shone with his proud strength. The next scene is just a light slap in the face. Equation. And I'm going all out against you. And I want to kill you all. And I want. And the Liu family was left dumbfounded, staring in shock at the incredibly bizarre scene before me. The hall is filled with attendants. It's as if seeing a ghost. Dare not continue to capture the Liu family's people in the reflection of their pupils. The unparalleled Zhu Jian Shen, King Yansek disciple, he who assists in radical cultivation. Unexpectedly, the equation slapped me in the face step by step, ran away with a resentful gaze, before leaving the main door, glaring at the equation with malice. The equation, you wait for me. Between you and me, one must die. Just wait for the wrath of the Zhu family. Feng Jing's gaze glimmered with a cold light. A step forward, leaped out to chase. Leaving the Liu family, he unleashed his movement technique with complete disregard. Soon, on a secluded street, chasing after the resentful Zhu Jianshin kept mumbling to himself, I want to kill this guy. I want to kill him. From childhood to adulthood, he has never endured such humiliation. But at that moment, clear memories echoed behind me. I'm afraid you won't get another chance. The equation has caught up. With a pale expression he spoke. Zhu Jianshin turned his head to take a look. Discovery is an equation. Suddenly realized something was wrong. Shocked to the core. You are not mute. Feng Zheng expressionlessly drew out the wooden sword. Yao Yao pointed at him. Since one of us must die, then you might as well die. Do you see this wooden sword? Zhu Jian's face changed dramatically. Isn't this the sword of Yihao Yingwei? Why are you here? Suddenly, a terrifying thought appeared in his mind. He gave a cold shoulder. Trembling lips said, You are Shadow One. But how is this possible? One is a well-known former waste. One is the proud king of Lonely Boat City, can slay with the 9th level of weapon forging, the unmatched hero in the 2nd layer of assistance. One is the sky, the other is the earth. How could it possibly be the same person? Fang Cheng said faintly. Congratulations. You got it right. He slowly took out the mask, worn on the face. That represents the invincible number 1. Let Zhu Jian's body and mind feel the coolness rise. Fear strikes deep within. You are truly the number 1 shadow warrior. Impossible, impossible. This is impossible. He couldn't accept it. A worthless person I never looked down upon. It would be far inferior to the number 1 shadow power. The sound of the equation gradually becomes cold. From the first time you developed feelings for Liu Ruxu, it should die. But you don't know how to hold back. Challenging my limits time and again. Now no one can save you. Yan Bai swiftly darted past. Without hesitation, he unleashed his swordsmanship. Zhu Jian's death left everyone in shock, having witnessed the terror of Shadow One firsthand. He knows how formidable the other party is. Frightened, they fled in panic. Unfortunately, it didn't help. Instead, it opened wide behind. Everywhere is a flaw. But this time, he wasn't so lucky. You can still find someone to take the blame. The sword struck down with a decisive slash. However, at that moment, a bird swooped down. A woman in purple stood above. Her figure is unusually tall and graceful. Her beauty is matchless and enchanting. Her brows were tightly knitted. The sword spares no one. Seeing her, Zhu Jian was overjoyed, like a drowning person finding a savior. Sister Liu, help me. This person is going to rebel. The equation also has subtle hints in the pupils. Isn't this person from the city lord's mansion? Have you ever encountered the willow fairy? He is still in the long dragon path, left a shadow behind. He is actually a member of King Yun's sect. Does he want to protect Zhu Jianshan? As I think of this, he not only did not stop. Instead, it accelerated the stabbing. Liu Qingxian suddenly shouted, "Stop right now." In the depths of the heart, a leap of sand. No more hesitation. Decisively unleashing the 7 stars to the north, a piercing cold light. A blade pierced through Zhu Jian's chest from top to bottom. Pierce its heart. Zhu Jianshan ran forward a few steps due to inertia, accompanied by a broken heart, feeling strength gradually leaving my body, fell softly to the ground. He gasped for breath, like a fish out of water, unwilling to accept. "Liu Shaiji, hurry, save me." Liu Qingxian descended gracefully, immediately stepped forward to check. The sword pierced his heart with pinpoint accuracy. It was clear that he was beyond saving. She couldn't help but cast a cold glance at Fang Chen. "You have such audacity, daring to kill a disciple of King Yun's sect." Liu Qingxian exuded a formidable aura of spiritual power. Zhu Jian is damned, but one should die under the rules of the King Yun sect, instead of being slaughtered at will by outsiders. The two natures are entirely different. The equation remains unafraid, so indifferent that he deserved to die. I am here to cleanse the gate of King Yun's sect. Liu Qingxian's eyes were slightly cold. "You don't need to meddle. I will take care of him myself. You're just relying on your age. Just learned skills for several more decades. Dare to recklessly kill the disciples of the King Yun sect. For your achievements in defeating the Fan Tan Danju, I'll let you off this time. If there is another time, immediate execution, no mercy." "Aiden, who is it?" "What?" Fang Chen rolled his eyes, retorted, "You are the one who is old." "Old woman." Liu Qingxian was stunned. "You are quite an interesting person. Someone in their 50s. Call me an old woman in my 20s. Unexplainable. At this moment, Liu Ryan ran over, panting heavily. "Liu Shaiji, Liu Shaiji." "But, Zhu Jianshan, senior sister, are you going to execute him now?" It turns out that Liu Qingxian was indeed called by Liu Ryan. She mentioned the situation with the Liu family. Liu Qingxian was immediately furious. "I dare to come and eliminate this tumor, Zhu Jianshan. It's her." Liu Qingxian was furious at the servant's words. Liu Ryan raised her gaze, couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. "Position 1." She ran over quickly, staring at her with bright, sparkling eyes. "I couldn't help but introduce myself. It's me." Position 2. "My name is Liu Ryan. Young master, what about you? Can you tell me your real name?" Liu Qingxian, the color of directory differences. "You call him young master." Liu Ryan was caught off guard by the question. "They are all peers. Is there a mistake in calling someone young master?" "Why, peers." Liu Qingxian looked at Fang Chen in shock. "Isn't he a middle-aged man in his 50s? Fang Chen's forehead lightly throbbed. "Which 18-year-old boy? Being called uncle is something one can endure. You are the one who's the uncle." "Old woman." Liu Ryan realized that Liu Qingxian had misunderstood something. "Explain it." "Liu Shaiji, our shadow team is made up of the outstanding young talents from Lonely Boat City. The oldest is no more than 18. For Liu Qingxian gasped in surprise, staring at Fang Chen in disbelief. 18 years old. Refining Kai to the 9th layer, one person's strength defeated the 2nd layer of support. He couldn't do that back then at all. He and Chen Zhendao both subconsciously thought that. The reason why shadow position 1 is so powerful, it is the result of many years of cultivation, due to extensive experience. But he is only 18 years old. Wait a moment. Liu Qingxian suddenly had a clever idea, the fiery gaze of the twin eyes. Not long ago, it was you who defeated me on the Dragon Road. Chen Zhengdao and Yan Tianju's projection. Fang Chen said calmly. So what? Liu Qingxian's heart raced wildly. It's him. It really is him. The unparalleled genius of the dragon path. He exclaimed with great excitement. No effort is needed when you find something after a long search. You were really hard to find. Looking at him in shock for a moment. A big laugh later, muttering inexplicable words. Fang Chen couldn't help but feel uneasy. Seeing the eye, one sees the body. Confirm they are completely dead and decisively leave. Wait a moment. Don't leave yet. Liu Qingxing quickly chased after. He chased after her. Fang Chen felt even more uneasy. I pushed the solitary red shadow to its limits. Deng Deng Den leapt onto the rooftop. Then a few flickers. Not knowing which street to jump to. No one could be seen. Liu Qingxian pursued for a while. Couldn't catch up. Unavoidably surprised. What's going on? I can't catch up to him with my cultivation level. Is he the master's technique? The art of movement is extremely difficult to comprehend. Few people in Qingyan's sect have achieved enlightenment successfully. Isn't it said that he has extraordinary insight? Liu Ryan curiously caught up. Astonished, he said, Sister Liu, why are you chasing him? Liu Qingxian rode. Vice Guild Master Chen and I have been waiting for his appearance for almost half a month. This person's talent. You can ascend to the Tiandi Pavilion. The future achievements will not be inferior to my father's. What? Liu Ryan with 5 red pillars for lips. A deep shock flashed in her beautiful eyes. He knew that the first shadow position was incredibly gifted, but spoken from Liu Qingxian's lips. Only then did I realize just how astonishing it was. Daughter of the esteemed Qingyan sect master, vice master of the Tianji Pavilion, they waited a full half-month for him to appear, a trace of admiration, surging uncontrollably within the heart. I need to investigate thoroughly. Who exactly is Shadow One? Liu Qingxian's eyes gleamed with golden light. For such an unparalleled genius, he is determined to win. Liu Ryan also felt very curious. The true identity of Shadow Position 1. Thou, I will help senior sister investigate too. Not long after. Zhu family mansion. The wails of despair echoed throughout the city. Zhang Yuxiu cried like a fountain. Shen-er, my Shen-er, you died so miserably. Beside him, a strange young man is still squatting there. Juangongzi, you must advocate for me, Shen-er. Zhang Yuxiu looked at him with pleading eyes. You are a disciple of the Qingyan sect's inner disciples. Except for you, can no one be the master of our fate? Just now, the soldiers of the Lord's Manor, the body of Zhu Jianshan has been brought back and conveyed the words of the city lord. Zhu Jian's death was well deserved. This is where the matter ends. But the son died inexplicably. Zhang Yuxiu would never agree to that. Just then, the inner sect disciple who had always protected Zhu Jianshan, Zhang Qizhen, came to retrieve the fire spirit pearl. Zhang Qizhen is as meticulous as dust. Checking Zhu Jian's corpse. A hint of seriousness. This person's swordsmanship is exceptional. Quick, precise, and ruthless. Deadly encounter. It seems that Zhu Shidi has messed with someone powerful. That he discovered again Zhu Jian's inner collar of the sleeve. There was a line of writing, despite being crooked and twisted, upon careful examination, still recognized. Do not provoke the equation. Who is Fang Chan? Zhang Qizhen asked. Zhang Yuxiu quickly looked over, showed a look of confusion. Equation? The son-in-law of the Liu family. A worthless person. Why are there rumors from birth? Don't provoke him. He doesn't think at all. It was the equation that killed its own son. Zhang Qizhen, a glimmer of cold light. No matter who he is. Since my junior disciple left his name before passing away, he can't escape the responsibility for his junior brother's death. Just right. I need to go to the Liu family, preparing for the arrival of the master at the Liu family. I will interrogate this equation. As for that phrase, don't mess with the equation, Zhang Qizhen threw it into the clouds. He is an inner disciple of the Qingyan sect. He discovered part of it. The speed of absorbing spiritual energy. It is more than 5 times the past. The spiritual energy within the entire Liu family's domain. The coral tsunami swept in. Allow the spiritual energy in the spirit pool to continue increasing. However, reached the foundation establishment stage. Cultivation has improved. It's much more difficult, with such a powerful mental technique supporting it. Cultivating for an entire day. It only improved slightly. If this continues, it has been difficult to break through to the second layer of foundation establishment for a whole month. And realm, he thought of the Shenlong Dao. It is said to perform exceptionally well. There will be rewards. Last time we stopped at the 11th floor. If this challenge is overcome, will there be a reward? With an expression of anticipation, he returned to Xinglong Road once again. Put on the mask of shadow, position 1. The challenge has begun directly. First floor, second floor, 3 layers, 8th floor, 9 layers, 10 layers. When he defeated Yun Shenju on the 10th level, with a relaxed expression, the last encounter lasted for hundreds of rounds. This time, just a few moves will get through. He solemnly stepped into the 11th floor. The leader is a charming and handsome young man. Elegant too. Liu Yun of the Blue Palace. Foundation Layer 1. Please advise. The two quickly engaged in combat. Fang Zhen felt immense pressure. Both are foundational strength. It's still the royal level advanced sword technique that I wield. It could take dozens of moves. Progress goes up and down. The opponent's combat experience is extremely seasoned, not inferior to oneself at all. Every move was methodical, not a single flaw. Cultivation techniques. It's much stronger than the equation. Several times the equation almost lost. Fortunately, he relied on his agility, able to fight endlessly against it. Finally, at the 200th round, spotted Liu Yun's flaw in the Blue Palace. Defeated with a single sword strike. Wu Fang Zhang was dripping with sweat. Jingdi Lai Jai. What happened? Projection of the 11th floor. The strength has increased several times. He felt, this person is even more difficult to deal with than the sub-forum master of the second layer of foundation establishment. However, hard work is worthwhile. As the projection fades away, a snow-white pill appeared in place. This is inferior foundation establishment pill, Fang Cheng Da Zai Guo Wan. This is unique to the Qingyan sect. A pill that can enhance the foundation and cultivation of martial artists. There is nothing for sale in the outside world. He immediately swallowed. Begin cultivating right here. As the elixir went down, a powerful force of medication, transformed into an incredibly rich spiritual energy. He glanced at the 12th floor, left without hesitation. The 11th floor is so difficult. Moreover, 12 layers. Arriving downstairs, he kept a little for himself, mumbling, "Prepare some refining liquid and the heart method for Liu Ruxu." Just barely reasonable. Liu Kingxian and Liu Ryan arrived at this place. Liu Kingxian sensed that her projection was broken. "Just rush over here quickly." Liu Ryan watched the fading figure of Shadow No. 1. Regrettably said, "Arrived a step late." "Can't—" Liu Kingxian's eyes shimmered with strands of golden light. "Liu Ruxu." "Who is it?" He heard it very clearly. "Yihao Ying Wai Shuo. Need to give Liu Ruxu the refining liquid and the mental cultivation method." What kind of relationship only then was willing to help Liu Ruxu? The answer is just around the corner. The problem is, we need to find out who Liu Ruxu is. Liu Ryan was stunned. "Liu Ruxu? It's my sister." Liu Kingxian was taken aback. "Your sister?" Then there was a young man beside her. Liu Ruyan looked puzzled. I don't know why Liu Kingxian asked this, but I still speak the truth. My sister keeps herself pure. There are no young men around. Only the fiancé Fang Chen. Fang Chen. Liu Kingxian's gaze was intense. "So what do you think? Fang Chen might be shadow power number 1. Uh, Yingwei No. 1. Liu Ruyan shook her head. Decisively stated, "Impossible. She wants to be shadow 1. I am the master of the Tianji Pavilion." So she recounted Fang Chen's various experiences, told from her perspective. Listening to Liu Kingxian, I felt a sense of unease. Is it really that mundane? That is indeed not shadow 1. However, your sister Liu Ruxu's cultivation has advanced by leaps and bounds. That's acceptable. It was number 1 Yingwei secretly helping her. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Liu Ryan felt a mix of emotions at that moment. It is more complex than. Number 1 Yingwei actually favors his own sister so much. It made her heart feel sour. Is more complicated than. It turns out that my sister is not so devoted after all. Actually behind Fang Chen's back, having such a deep relationship with Shadow 1. She suddenly felt a bit of sympathy for Fang Chen. Liu Kingxian pondered for a moment. "Doubt. Take me to your Liu family's place. Call Fang Chen and your sister out. I'll ask them in person. Perhaps we can find clues about Shadow 1. Just then, the jade pendant at her waist also chimed. After being crushed, it converged into a single sentence. "The sect has matters to attend to. Quick return." Liu Kingxian's expression was somewhat difficult to read. Why does it have to be at this moment? No need to say. It must be about Shu Zhao. We are about to trace number 1's shadow. The relationship between Qi Shu and Zhao is very significant. I have to leave. Thinking deeply, she suddenly thought of a way. One, why not summon Liu Ruxu to Qingyan sect? This is the number 1 shadow power. Such a deep love, Liu Ruxu. They will definitely find a way to join Qingyan sect. The more I think about it, the more I feel this method is feasible. She then asked, "Liu Ryan, I will soon take you back to the sect. It's Elder Lai Qingzong, right?" Liu Ruyan didn't know why she suddenly asked this. Proudly said, "It is Elder Lai. She will arrive in a few days." Liu Kingxian nodded slightly, a mysterious smile. Then it attracted birds, directly soaring back into the sky. Once upon a time, Fang Chen returned to the Liu residence. She discovered Liu Ruxu diligently scrubbing the floor. The servants in the manor is also busy cleaning. The corners and nooks I used to overlook. Everything is clean spotless. What happened? Fang Chen whispered. Liu Ruxu was filled with joy. Duh. Initially, my sister was appointed as an elder of the Qingyan sect. They are coming to our house. Sister will soon be able to enter Qingyan sect." Fang Chen couldn't help but be moved. Witness the difficulty of improving one's cultivation in the station base. She realized the stationed realm desires to ascend. The solitary boat city cannot provide resources. Must go to Qingyan sect. Only then can there be greater development. I don't know the extent of my cultivation in this realm. Can that elder Lai also offer assistance? Can leave by oneself. What should Liu Ruxu do? Like snow. Come here. She quietly took out a few bottles of premium refinement liquid and tore the cover. Sun Longjing, these past few days, don't do anything anymore. Hurry up and cultivate. You should also make an effort. See if Elder Lai can bring him back to Qingyan sect. Liu Ruxu was at a loss whether to cry or laugh. Qingyan sect values talent more. Not very concerned about the current state of affairs. I have a second-grade spiritual root. Just pack a bit of dry food. I couldn't help but feel moved. Half a day later, Fang Chen successfully activated the statue. Once again, I saw the treasure among them. A sword, 2 boxes of Euxia, the sword, and the 2 immortal reducing pills. She set it aside for the time being. He grabbed the jade box filled with rootless heavenly water, carefully tasted a drop. Suddenly, a powerful surge of spiritual energy suddenly rushed into the spirit pool, gained a slight increase in cultivation. Fang Chen was extremely surprised. A single drop is equivalent to a night of quiet meditation. She looks forward to the catalogue. Start immediately. The Dragon-Seeking Classic. Sitting cross-legged with the rootless celestial water basin. 3 days later, the rootless celestial water in the jade box. Not a drop left. Fang Chen has successfully broken through to the 3rd layer of foundation establishment. This is really a good thing. Directly broke through 2 levels. Fang Chen was pleasantly surprised. However, in theory, the rootless celestial waters can only break through 1 realm. The reason I can achieve an additional level, the reason is her mysterious spiritual root. And the Dragon-Seeking Classic played a role. They maximize, absorbed all the spiritual energy from the rootless heavenly water. Not a single bit of waste. This is how we can break the limits. Break through an additional level. She clenched her fist. A powerful sensation surged within me like never before. Immediately after that, she then looked at Tui Fan Dan, contemplating. My spiritual roots are sufficient. Take it back and let Ru Zhu try it. See if we can enhance her spiritual root. At last, she gazed at the exquisite spiritual energy purple sword, holding it tightly in hand. Suddenly, a heavy sense of pressure descended. She almost couldn't hold onto the sword. That's how it is. Fang Chen was quite surprised. If it weren't for breaking through to the 3rd layer of foundation establishment, she might not be able to lift it. I don't know what makes this sword special. Fang Chen held the sword, performed a flourish with the sword in front of the stone statue. Because it's heavy, it appears very clumsy when played. It seems there's nothing particularly special. It's not as good as the Raven Spirit Wood sword. Fang Chen felt somewhat disappointed. The wooden sword at least has the effect of electrocuting enemies. And very light. This so-called top-quality spiritual energy. Extremely clumsy. Nothing special again. Just as soon as the voice fell, a shadow suddenly loomed in front of her. Looking up, uncontrollably, a great fear surged in my heart. It was only then. This massive statue somehow, it actually broke, rushed towards her fiercely. She hurriedly employed her body technique, shot out rapidly. Rumble, rumble. A large pile of gravel hit her back painfully. Turning around to take a look, the stone statue has crashed to the ground. That was close. Fang Chen was startled and broke out in a cold sweat. What happened? Why did the statue suddenly fall down for no reason? She leaned in to observe. His expression turned strange. Only the fracture of the statue is visible. There are several complex cuts, smooth as a mirror, like tofu being sliced open. And the curve of that cut, with my sword I face the flowers. Identical. No way. Fang Chen looked at the shimmering purple sword in his hand. Unbelievable. I just waved a sword flower in the air. She jumped onto the statue, holding the purple sword, scratching fiercely at the stone statue beneath my feet. Bang! A sharp cracking sound suddenly erupted. The statue suddenly cracked into two pieces. Fang Chen took a deep breath, staring in shock at the purple sword. Her ability is to unleash sword energy from a distance. Moreover, it is a powerful sword energy that can easily cut through stone. In an instant, she was utterly surprised. With this sword in hand, in conjunction with the seven-star sword technique, the lethality is off the charts. The only flaw is, this sword is too heavy. It feels very clumsy to use. One must possess an exceptionally strong physique. Only then can it be perfectly controlled. Do we have to practice our bodies? Fang Chen showed a hint of hesitation. Father once said, martial arts intent, the path of martial arts is the hardest journey, because of the resources invested, much more than just practicing martial arts. I want to improve my physical skills in Lonely Boat City, as difficult as reaching the heavens. Qingyun sect is a must-visit. Next, she confirmed that the two elixirs were prepared. Purple sword, wrap it with a piece of cloth, to prevent the emerging purple light. Capture attention. At that moment, a frail and weak cry came from outside the cave. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Save me. Please save me. Such deep mountains and old forests. Once again, the lair of the Blood Palace. How could someone be asking for help? She dodged without hesitation, hidden in the shadows of the stone cracks. Before long, a disheveled person, an old man covered in blood, rushing in a panic. She swept around the corpse. No one is found. Could not help but let out a long sigh towards the sky. I thought the sounds in the cave were from someone. Wu Ming Xiuyi. A moment later, a particularly tall figure walked in from outside the cave again. A man as strong as an iron tower, bare-chested, gently touching the strange texture. Walking, the ground rumbled under the pressure. It looks like a small hill. You can't escape now, right? The strong man grinned, revealed a chilling smile. Stealing our giant sect's iron blood manual. That is to say, running back into the Qingyun sect's territory. Must die too, due to the time required for video production. I want to see the follow-up treasures of Xuan Ling Tian in advance. You can download the Kidian Reading app, then open the search. Xuan Ling Tian Dai. Please make sure not to make any spelling mistakes or miss any words, because the blobber is using a theft-proof name. So the first one to jump out is. The strong man grinned, revealed a chilling smile. Stealing the iron blood true classic of our giant sect. That is to say, running back into the boundary of Qingyun sect. Must die too. Fang Chen's heart trembled. Giant sect. That is not under the unification of the Tianji Pavilion. Is it one of the 9 major sects? It is the most powerful among the 9 major sects. It is also the farthest from Qingyun sect. There are several sects between the two. People of the giant sect How did I arrive within the Kinyan sect? The pursued old man shouted angrily. Su Gangli, your shameless game. This iron-blooded manual. Clearly, it was I who supported your giant sect. The reward earned after 18 years of alchemy. You are a disciple of the giant sect, a person from a prestigious and righteous family. They actually wanted to kill for treasure. Iron blood true classic. In the giant sect, that is a secret technique only accessible to elders. Zhu Gangli, a disciple of the inner sect. Foundation has long been laid. Just in front of me, the old man who has retired and returned to his hometown received a reward. Then he started to have ulterior motives. He, what constitutes a prestigious family? In this world, strength is the true path. Zhu Gangli's eyes shone with a fierce light, striding closer to the old man. Now I give you two choices. Hand over the iron-blooded true scriptures. I want you to die quickly. Otherwise, I will torment you until you confess. The equation holds the breath and focuses the mind. Calm gaze, not the slightest intention to make a move. The dispute between the two arose over a treasure. What does it have to do with him? Moreover, the inner disciples of the giant sect, very formidable. The feeling of oppression he experiences. Multiple times the division of the exploratory leader. There's no need to take risks. However, the equation made the heart skip a beat. He keenly noticed. Zhu Gangli glanced over at Yu Guangzhou, suddenly realized something was wrong. Zhu Gangli seemed to walk towards the old man. But suddenly I tapped the tip of my foot. Pick up a stone the size of a fist. Smash towards the direction of the equation. It has been discovered. Fang Cheng did not hesitate at all. He decisively drew his wooden sword. A single sword strike sends the incoming stone flying away. A sharp pain surged through his tiger's mouth. Heart racing in fear. This person has great strength. Just a stone kicked from afar. It has such strength if kicked at close range. The 5 fractures are all mild. It might end up with a kick that could tear through the belly. There's some skill. Zhu Gangli squinted his eyes. Lang Lang watched as Fang Cheng slowly emerged from the crevice. Can you take my hit? You're quite skilled. Disciple of Kinyan sect, seeing the equation at a young age. Such strength exists. He guessed their identity. Fang Chen doesn't want to meddle. The ways, the matters of this place. I didn't see anything. Zhu Gangli smiled. Bon Shudao. Thank you then. 9 clans connected by the same roots. We are brothers to each other. We should take care of each other. Although he said so, Fang Chen remained completely vigilant, slowly retreating backward, not leaving any openings for the opponent. When he reached the edge of the square, Zhu Gangli could no longer hold back. HMPH said, quite cunning. He never intended to let Fang Chen leave. The old man before me, but a soul master, still serving the giant sect as a soul master for many years. I killed him myself. Skeg, the story of the iron blood scripture. How dare you let others know? He pretended to be polite. I just want to let the equation relax. Then a lethal strike. I never expected Fang Cheng to be so cautious. No chance at all. He was about to leave his attack range. I can no longer endure. The chest began to reveal itself. At the moment of speaking, a force that sweeps through thousands of troops. A barrage of stones came flying like cannonballs. Thankfully, the equation was prepared. The wooden sword swept out continuously. Stones flew out one by one, and seized this opportunity. Zhu Gangli, seemingly clumsy. Thunder came charging at an astonishing speed, far away behind the cane. just a long-distance jump. A heavy burden has arrived. Feeling the shadow rapidly pressing down from above, he didn't think twice. Immediately performed the technique. Shining brightly, it opened up. Rumble, rumble. The place where he once stood. Zhu Gangli's massive physique. He sank a full foot into it. Cracks spread around like spider webs. If this were to step on it, without a doubt it's life or death. Fang Chen was deeply shocked. Without a moment's hesitation, he turned and thrust his sword. Lonely Heart Warehouse. However, a sword swept by. It was just on his skin. A faint white line was drawn, like scraping sand. Such a hard body. Zhu Gangli laughed heartily. A broken wooden sword. Just want to break open my body. Then my 10 years of indestructible skill. Isn't it just practiced on a dog's belly? The old man watching from a distance. He quickly reminded, Young hero, Zhu Gangli practiced the Danshan technique. You must remember not to let him get too close. And you said, the equation is speechless. He calmly executed his movements. Always keep your distance from him. And once again swung a sword. 3 stars reflecting the moon. Ed. Powerful sword momentum. Swiped across his arm. But it only left behind a whiter scratch. If this is all the skill you have, then you can go die. Zhu Gangli gave a contemptuous smile. Fang Zheng's gaze flickered. Suddenly a loud shout echoed. Kixing Zhenbei. Third move is the essence of the 7-star sword technique. It is also the most powerful move. With a sound of tearing cloth, the wooden sword sliced open his chest, cut through the tough skin, tearing through flesh and blood. Blood immediately gushed out. It's ridiculously strong. Zhu Gangli wiped the blood stain from his chest. Finally provoked. You daub thing. How dare you hurt me? With a bang. With powerful legs, he shot a fierce glare. The whole person leaped over. From a distance. Like a giant toad. Avoiding the equation. Yet still remained calm. Once again, the 7 stars point to the north. Zhu Gangli roared. Go to hell. He disregarded the pain. Both hands grasped the wooden sword. Unbeknownst to them, the equations are also waiting for this moment. Without a second thought, suddenly activated the electric shock effect of the wooden sword. 888. A continuous current surged into Zhu Gangli's body. He suddenly convulsed, fell rigidly from mid-air, lying on the ground without moving, just like a frog. But what makes the equation give one a headache is an electric current strong enough to stiffen an ordinary person for more than 3 breaths. Zhu Gangli froze for just a moment. It actually recovered. He angrily got up, with a strong sweep of both hands, unexpectedly broke the wooden sword into 2 pieces, partially thrown at the foot of the equation. Little beast, this time you're going to die, right? Finished speaking, rushing toward the equation like a fleeting shadow. The feeling of equations. What crashed into you is not a person, but it is a mountain. The old man let out a desperate cry. Quick step aside. He could almost see the outcome of the equation. With a single collision, inevitably becomes blood-stained. Fang Zheng felt a chill in his heart. This is the final struggle. He swiftly drew the purple arrow from his back. There wasn't even time to tear off the fabric strips from the package. Directly towards the rushing Zhu Gangli, a sword struck out from afar, clumsy and slow in action, causing Zhu Gangli to burst into laughter. Something that can't even hold a sword steadily. Still what? As they talked and talked, Zhu Gangli was stunned. He discovered the distance from oneself to the equation. How did it stop? Moreover, I saw someone in my line of sight. Only the lower half of the body, just the legs are left, rushing towards the equation with inertia. At last, as we approached the equation, thud fell down, and oneself, it fell heavily to the ground. He lowered his head to take a look at his own body. Lower body. It's gone. Immediately after that, the pain of a delayed step. Heart-wrenching cries echoed. He let out a heart-wrenching scream. My body, my body. Touch I. He didn't suffer for too long. Fang Cheng swiftly pierced his throat with a sword, ended his life. Until now, he doesn't understand what just happened. That was close. Fang Cheng wiped the sweat from his forehead, revealing the aftermath of survival. If it weren't for obtaining the purple sword, today I'm afraid I'm going to fall here. It's a pity about the Ravenwood sword. He tenderly picked up the broken wooden sword, now in two pieces. He has accompanied me for so long. The significance of helping him evade danger multiple times. Today, however, I am plagued by shame, suffered an undeserved calamity. The old man with disheveled hair walked over with an apology. Ja, I'm sorry, young hero. I didn't mean to push him towards you. It is truly the instinct for survival. In this way, I'll compensate you with some silver. Fang Cheng glared at him coldly. Who cares about your silver? You almost took my life away. A simple apology is all it takes. Mo Dai. He recalled what Zhu Gangli had just said. Iron-blooded true scriptures. Please copy a version of the Iron-blood true scripture for me. This evens things out. The old man's lips trembled slightly. After a moment of thought, just grit your teeth and say it. Okay, the grace of saving a life. You should repay. He is unwilling to share the iron-blood true scripture. Hand it over to Zhu Gangli. It's because once you hand it over, you will surely die. The equation before me, but not like the kind of vicious scoundrels. Then he took out a piece of iron sheet. The surface is densely carved with characters. It is indeed a book on body refining. The equation looks past. Unconsciously, the pupils contracted. Immediately lower grade body refining technique. The old man crouched down to clean, with a hint of pride in his voice. This is the supreme body refining technique of the giant sect. Only the elders and the sect leader can observe. Otherwise, what do you think Zhu Gangli? Why were they chased from the giant sect to the Kingian sect territory? Fang Zheng sensed the underlying meaning in the words. Wanmo, this method of body refinement, no one is cultivating. Resource support. Take a look for yourself. What are the things needed to cultivate the first level? Fang Jing looked closely, with a strange expression. Fourth level elixir, Mighty Tiger, round 10. The old man said, Do you know why no one practices this technique anymore? Mighty Tiger Pell, it takes a 4-star soul master to refine it. But a 4-star soul master, where to find it? Don't mention the giant sect. Even the Tianji Pavilion doesn't have it. So, this technique is practically useless. Can only look. The old man recalled his harrowing experience of being pursued all the way, feeling very wronged. I really am getting old and confused. I just wanted to use this as a reward. You can practice, but you can't. And also attracted a chase. I almost lost my life. Then people, just take it back and have a look. Don't practice. There is no fierce tighter pill. Practice is in vain. Fang Chenma rested her chin on her hand, silent as a statue. Mighty tighter pill. Others can't practice it. He can do it. This technique he can definitely cultivate. Strongly suppress the maneuver. Fang Jing casually checked Zhu Gangli's condition. I discovered quite a few things. However, Zhu Gangli follows the path of physical training. Therefore, there are no techniques to assist Jai Dan. There is indeed a bag of glittering gold and stones. Caught his attention. Zhu Gangli is quite wealthy. There are actually 100 medium-grade gold stones. Converting it is equivalent to 1,000 low-grade gold stones. The old man turned his head to take a look. Suddenly I swallowed my envy. Senchit. Fang Zheng looked at the old man in surprise. The old man was instead stunned. Yanhira, aren't you from the Kingyun sect, and don't you use metal and stone? Arrived at the 9 sects, it is already difficult to measure various high-value treasures. Therefore, gold and stone are universal. Fang Jian groaned. Just pocket it. Not long after, the old man has mastered his skills. Not a word of spice. Word for word. He just put it away. Farewell. The old man also got up and prepared to leave. Suddenly swayed. Fell to the ground, darkness closing in. The footsteps paused. Ja, what's wrong with you? Old habits. No worries. The old man was struggling to breathe, took out a bottle of medicine from his chest pocket. But only upon touching did I realize. The bottom of the bottle is broken. The elixir inside. All is lost in the escape. Suddenly, they were thrown into a panic. Fang Chen frowned, with the thought of sending the Buddha and the Tao to the West. Stepped forward to take his pulse. I embroidered the old man's medicine again. It turns out there is a problem with the meridians. He was on the old man's body. Searched for a week. Found the relevant materials. Not long after, he refined a few pills. One of the seeds was not given to the old man. The other few were placed beside him. When the old man wakes up, the equation has disappeared without a trace. He saved me, but my elixir is gone. Where did he get it from? Linden can only be refined by soul masters. At this moment, he caught a glimpse of the elixir in front of him. The pupils involuntarily constricted. Supreme pulse nourishing pill. This can only be refined by at least a 3-star soul master. That boy, it turns out to be a 3-star soul master. He was shocked beyond measure. Sanxing soul master. That is a person of great renown from the Tianji pavilion. That boy turned out to be. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, he just couldn't believe it. The master of the 3 stars can actually be so young. A long time. He had not yet calmed his shock, knowing well that I cannot stay here long. He hurriedly left, as I passed by Zhu Gangli's corpse. So, you have no reason to feel wronged for your death. That is the 3-star soul master. At this level, often profound and unfathomable, unexpectedly took action against him, truly unaware of the danger. Not long after, he returned to the Qin family. Qin Shengsheng led a group of clansmen. For the emperor's grace, we eagerly await the return of the elder. It turns out, he is the old master of the Qin family, Qin Wenyuan, a true 1-star soul master. There was not a hint of a smile on his face. Instead, they had a stern expression. Questioned, "Why is business so sluggish? What are you here for?" Before returning home, he specifically went to check out the various shops of the Qin family. As a result, business was very poor, nowhere near what it used to be. Qin Shengsheng cried out, "Old master, you may not know. The Chen family invited a powerful soul master. They took away more than half of our business. I heard that the soul master is also preparing to train a group of soul master apprentices for the Chen family. Specializes in refining low-grade foundation enhancing pills. You want to cut off our Qin family's livelihood. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that." Qin Wenyuan's expression was gloomy. Cultivating soul master apprentices cut off the Qin family's path to survival. What a bold statement. I want to go see. Who is this esteemed person? Qin Chengsheng was overjoyed. He asked again, Old master, how would you respond? Qin Wenyuan is a cunning strategist. Duh. He does not recruit qualified people. Are you training soul master apprentices? I'll just go and listen myself. What skills does he have? Liu residence. Fang Cheng has just returned. The mansion has been completely transformed. Everyone is busy. Liu Ryan also changed into a brand new outfit. She has always been plain-faced. Dr. Yi and the powdered beauty, welcoming her for the past 18 years. The most important day in life, Fang Zhengyi was surprised, picking up the pen to write. This is... Liu Ryan didn't want to pay any attention to Fang Cheng, but she couldn't help but feel too good. Can't bear it any longer. She wanted to show off in front of the equation. Elder Lai will be visiting our Liu family today. Fang Zheng was slightly startled. Wrote, Isn't it just a few days later? Why did the time suddenly change? Liu Ryan also showed a look of confusion. Previously, Liking Feng notified that the time was 5 days later. But I don't know what happened. She suddenly changed the time. And then Jai arrived at the Liu household. Thought about it. She guessed that it should be that I have broken through the assistant's mirror. Elder Lai was very happy. Just want to take me into the Qingyan sect early, huh? That does make sense. Just Fang Chen felt something was off. Elder of Qingyan sect, which one is not overwhelmed with daily affairs? Many things are arranged in advance. How could the plans be suddenly disrupted? Xiao Chen, you're back. Liu Ruxu held a cloth, said in surprise. Where have you been these past few days? Fang Zheng watched her doing the servant's work again, instantly furious. Wrote, Let you cultivate. What are you doing? Liu Ruxu glanced at Liu Ryan beside her, whispering, I just stopped my training a moment ago. Xiao Chen, you always tell me. What exactly is my liquid? There's more. New heart method. What level is it? How did I break through again? I have already trained to the 8th level. There was unease etched on her face. This cultivation takes time. It's a bit too fast, isn't it? It's as if assisted by divine intervention. Fang Zheng's mouth twitched. All under heaven. Only this foolish bull worries about cultivating too quickly. Supreme Chi-refining liquid under the influence of the Supreme Heart method. Liu Ruxu found it hard not to feel anxious. She didn't explain. Instead, he took out a pill of reversal Dan. Give it to her. Picking up the pen, I began to write. Swallow it. Liu Ryan saw it from the side. Could not help but feel curious. Equation. What good things did you give my sister again? Fang Cheng turned his head and handed her a note. You want it too. Liu Ryan, who is very self-aware. Uft. Who cares about your stuff? I will soon become a disciple of Qingyan sect. What is it that Qingyan sect does not have? Feng Chen picked up the pen. That's the best. Anyway, I won't give it to you. Liu Ryan was immediately furious, her emotions rising and falling like the tide. Silver fangs gently bite. I don't know why. She is becoming increasingly concerned about the attitude toward the equation. He used to treat her like air. Liu Ruxu said, Xiao Chen, don't you have one more? Give it to sister. Still need to be blessed by the equation one more time. Liu Ryan angrily said, I don't want it. It's not a good thing anyway. Sister, you also better not eat recklessly. Be careful not to upset your stomach. Liu Ruxu felt a sudden headache. I don't know what's wrong with my sister. Why have I been arguing with equations lately? Haven't we gotten along quite well over the past 10 years? Are we both just minding our own business? Looking at the elixir in my palm, she swallowed it without any hesitation. Fang Chengnian Hakidai, how do you feel? Have you noticed any changes in your body? Liu Ruxu shook her head in confusion. Not available. After a moment of contemplation, Fang Cheng Shuren, Tui Fan Dan enhances the quality of one's spiritual root. It is not a change in flesh and blood. Therefore, even though there are changes, the body cannot change it either. Can allow the division before dying. A treasure that died with unclosed eyes. It shouldn't be too bad. How are you all prepared? My master will be here soon. A clear and bright voice. A sound came from outside the door. Zhang Qixin walked in quickly. Liu Ryan's eyes lit up. He jogged forward. Respect the way. Zhang Shixin. Zhang Qixin looked at the captivating beauty before him. The alluring Liu Ryan, uncontrollably revealing a hint of fervor. At first, she came to Lonely Boat City with liking Feng. When observing Liu Ruxu, we have met once. At that time, I was stunned by Liu Ryan's beauty, still fresh in my memory. Half a year has passed. Goodbye, still feeling amazed. Chanai, are you all ready? Liu Ryan nodded slightly. Please, Brother Zhang, give me some guidance. Where is the shortcoming? Zhang Qixin's gaze swept across. Slightly sweaty palms. It's quite clean. No problem. At this moment, she noticed Fang Chen. Could not help but ask, who is this? Liu Ryan said unhappily, my sister's fiancé, Fang Chen. She is Fang Chen. A trace of hostility grew in his eyes. In the past, relying on Zhu Jian's bouncing, she can obtain a few fire spirit pearls every year. Now that Zhu Jian has died, everything is gone. This is called Fang Chen. It is closely related to Zhu Jianshen's death. Liu Yan Jr.'s sister, the wise words of the esteemed master. It's something that everyone can see. This Fang Chen's. At first glance, they look like a dubious person. Get her cleaned out. Liu Ryan frowned. Although she hated Fang Chen, why is Qi Fangchen acting so strangely? But considering that Lai Qingfeng is coming, we can only let Fang Chen feel wronged a little. Fang Chen, go to the backyard. Don't come out today. Fang Chen shot a glance at Zhang Qixin, leaving without a word. Liu Ruxu wants to go too. Liu Ryan, however, blocked her. Sister, just stay here. What if I could carry Elder Lai's burden? Zhang Qixin sneered. Fang Chen is not a good person. Her fiancé is not a good person either. Let her go too. Liu Ruxu never intended to stay. Lang Lang glanced at Zhang Qixin, walked away, holding Fang Chen's arm. At this moment, Zhang Qixin just noticed. Liu Ruxu's stunning beauty was like that of a celestial being. Can't help but feel regret. Liu Ryan's sister, surprisingly, she is even more beautiful than her. It's like flowers growing in cow dung. At this moment, a bird swooped down, falling in the center of the courtyard. A pioneer with a noble demeanor stood beside. A refined middle-aged man in blue attire, an aura that sends chills down one's spine. Liu Zhengyan led a group of clansmen. Immediately attack. Liu family ups and downs. Elder Lai has arrived. Lai Qingfeng jumped down. The gaze quickly swept through the crowd of the Liu family. Saw Liu Ryan. Just a brief pause before soaring past. The focus is on the women of the Liu family. Looked around. Could not help but furrow her brows slightly, whispering softly, which one is Liu Ruxu that the young master mentioned? A few days ago, Liu Qingxian received the imperial decree. Rush back to King Yan's sect. The first thing was not to report back to the sect leader, but to find her. Lai Qingfeng remembers it clearly. Liu Qingxian looked excited. In the city of Guzhou, there is an extremely important woman from the Liu family. Must join the Qingyan sect. The daughter of the sovereign personally issued the order. Lai Qingfeng could hardly refuse. So change the itinerary. Arrive early at the Liu family's house. At the enthusiastic invitation of Liu Zhengyin, she sat down in the hall, after a round of pleasantries. Finally unable to hold back, Xiao Wendao, Ruyan, let me introduce you to my tribe members. Liu Ryan felt invigorated. The Liu family members all held their heads high, silently excited. Without a doubt, Lai Qingfeng also wanted to take the opportunity to investigate the rest of the Liu family members. If there is someone worthy of attention, this trip will also bring back King Yan's sect. Liu Zhenyan felt a surge of excitement. Hurry up and get here. Ruyan, quickly introduce Elder Lai. Liu Ryan nodded slightly. Elder Lai, these are my parents. This is my family elder. This is my cousin Liu Xianyang. This is my cousin Liu Wenqing. This is... He introduced them one by one. Lai Qingfeng endured patiently. Listened to him finish his introduction. Unavoidably surprised. The Liu family members are all here. Why isn't Liu Ruzu here? Is there still a Liu family in Lonely Boat City? I made a mistake about the location. Liu Ryan hesitantly glanced at Zhang Keizhen. Zhang, reporting back to Elder Lai. I have an older sister. Her name is Liu Ruxu. Lai Qingfeng felt the weight lift from his heart. Inquired further. Is she not part of the family? The entire hall fell silent. Everyone turned to look at Zhang Keizhen. Zhang Keizhen was stunned. I never thought it would turn out this way. The master actually cares so much about Liu Ruxu. Under the gaze of many eyes, Zhang Keizhen did not dare to lie in public. I can only brace myself and say, reporting to the elder, I made him avoid it. What? Lai Qingfeng stood up with a push. He has never seen Liu Qingxian in his life, caring so much for someone. And Liu Qingxian said a sentence. What shocked him deeply. If I could take Liu Ruxu as my disciple, the Xingyan sect will become the number one among the 9 sects in the future. Such an important disciple. This foolish apprentice of mine unexpectedly makes someone avoid. If Liu Qingxian knew, will thunderous anger strike? He couldn't help but feel angry. A slap landed on his face. Scolded sharply. Who allowed you to chase him away? You silly thing. Get out of here. Zhang Keizhen shivered in fear. Under their tutelage for many years, he had never seen the world-honored one get so angry. How dare I delay any longer? Hastily retreating from the Tang dynasty while clutching his waist, leaving the Liu family. Everyone in the Tang dynasty didn't even dare to breathe. Liu Zhenyan swallowed hard. Whispered, Ru Yan, quickly go and invite your sister out. Let Elder Lai take a look. Not long after, Liu Ruxu returned with a blank expression. Fang Cheng stayed by his side. On the road, I heard Liu Ruyan mention the reason. He also looked puzzled. Sounds good. Elder Lai seemed to have come specifically to find Liu Ruxu, but he had never appeared in the sight of Qingyan sect. How could Elder Lai know of his existence? His previous strength was quite ordinary. It should be hard to attract people's attention. Fang Cheng scratched his head in confusion. Suddenly, a jolt of anxiety struck her heart. Could it be that someone is attracted to his looks? Think carefully. This is the most likely. No way. I will also find a way to enter Qingyan sect. Fang Cheng murmured with worry. With the arrival of Liu Ruxu, Lai Qingfeng's smile grew even more intense. It even became very endearing. "You are Liu Ruxu." This attitude. Liu Ryan on the side couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed. Lai Qingfeng wasn't even this warm towards him. "Why do you seem particularly concerned about your sister?" "Please. He is the genuinely designated disciple, okay?" Liu Ruxu's nervous little hands, not knowing where to seek. "Jai Jai Baba Dao." "Yes, I am Liu Ruxu." Lai Qingfeng looked on with curious eyes. "Wen Dao, don't be nervous. I have come to take you as my disciple. Are you willing to become my disciple?" The person of the late hall. Everyone counts. Everyone was stunned. Just met once. Asked for a name. No spiritual root detected. No investigation of cultivation has been conducted. Thus he became a disciple. Liu Zhengyan was initially very displeased. Immediately became excited. Quickly said, "Liu, quickly pay your respects to the master." Both daughters joined the Qingyan sect. What an honorable thing this is! Liu Ryan felt a sense of imbalance in her heart. Why should I? She is the pride of the heavens. After various examinations, finally gained recognition, sister only had to show up, directly take him as a disciple. Obvious gap. Make her feel upset. Liu Ruxu was at a loss. Fang Chen patted her shoulder, gave her an encouraging look with joy. She has always worried that Liu Ruxu won't be able to go to Qingyan sect. I didn't expect that. Elder Lai directly accepted it. Liu Ruxu quickly knelt down. It's time to pay respect to the master. Lai Qingfeng smiled as he made her submit. Dao, no need for excessive courtesy. One only needs sincerity to become a disciple. No need for so many formalities. Liu Ruxu respectfully said, "Lai Shizun." Lai Qingfen laughed heartily. "With a beard," taking out a bracelet from my bosom. A faint spiritual light emanated from above. It turned out to be a magical artifact. A gift for the teacher's first meeting. Take it. Liu Ruxu's delightful outcome. "Thank you, master. Thank you, master." This scene left Liu Ryan feeling even more bewildered. Liu Zhengyan watched with his own eyes. "Da, Elder Lai, I believe it's time for me to officially become your disciple. Previously, I was just designated as a disciple, because the day for Qingshan sect to recruit disciples has not yet arrived. So it has never been received. Now, it's time." Lai Qingfeng thought of Liu Ruxu. Why nodded slightly. "Ruyan, you should also apprentice under a master." Liu Ryan is delighted, bowing respectfully like my sister. Didn't expect that. Lai Qingfen frowned. Liu Zhengyan, who is skilled at reading people's expressions. Her expression changed slightly. Quickly poured a cup of tea and handed it to Liu Ryan. "Shu Liu Dao." Elder Lai holds a highly esteemed position. Quickly kneel down and present the master tea. Can When Sister Qi became an apprentice, it's not like that at all. How did it come to this? She gently bit her red lips, received the tea, kneeling respectfully on the ground. 3 bows and a toast, presenting tea. "Please have some tea, master." Lai Qingfeng finally nodded, gently took the tea and took a sip. "Da, starting today, you shall be my disciple. Get up." Liu Ryan stood up and moved to the side. "I have waited for a long time. I also couldn't wait for a gift as special as the one my sister received." She felt deeply wronged. Why is this happening? Lai Qingfeng didn't come specifically to take me as his disciple. It seems like it's all for my sister. I'm just doing it casually. Lai Qingfeng's gaze flickered between the two sisters. "Sidewalk? My disciple under my name. divided into true disciples and inner disciples. As the name suggests, true transmission will receive more of my personal guidance. Inner sect disciple, I will provide you with enough resources. The one who values cultivation more. Every year, I can only accept one true disciple. This made Liu Ryan feel a bit better. After all, I am already the designated true disciple. So, Lai Qingfeng paused for a moment. This year, Liu Ruxu was accepted as a true disciple. Liu Ruyan feels a bit wronged. Next year, I will teach you the true transmission. But Liu Ryan couldn't believe her ears. Master, weren't you already predetermined? Am I the true successor? How did it end up on my sister's head? Regarding Liu Qingxian, she cannot disclose it. I can only say it indirectly. Some words. It is not convenient for me to speak openly. I can only tell you, your sister is more suitable to be the true successor. Seeing Liu Ryan's eyes redden with grievance, comforted. This is good. You are an inner sect disciple in name. In fact, I will treat you as a true disciple. How are you? Moreover, you are sisters. We are not strangers. Why bother with the title? Liu Ryan's eyes were even redder. If it were in the past, she can be unbothered. No matter what, they are still sisters. But now, she glanced at the equation. Although the equation appears expressionless at this moment, but she felt the equation must be feeling gloating, definitely laughing at oneself. All along, the true disciples are her pride. It is her glory. It is her proud asset in front of the equation. Now, this honor was given to someone else. Seeing oneself through the lens of equations, it must be a joke. She must fight to get it back. Master, I refuse to accept this. Liu Ryan gritted her silver teeth and said, Why can my sister be taken seriously? You haven't even checked her spirit lantern. Liu Ruxu felt extremely guilty. Hastily said, Master, the true inheritance should go to my sister. What merit do I have, deserving of true discipleship, can become an inner sect disciple? It is all a blessing from the heavens. Lai Qingfeng also has a big head. With Liu Ruyan's talents, becoming the true disciple is no problem at all. However, Liu Ruxu, another disciple of the sect leader's daughter, King Dian, how could she dare to be negligent? At this moment, Fang Chen stepped forward. Show a note to Lai Qingfeng. Elder Lai, let's test Liu Ruxu's spiritual roots. Liu Ruxu anxiously tugged at Fang Chen's sleeve. What are you doing? I can't afford to lose that person. The talent of having a second-grade spiritual root. How to present it well? Fang Chen simply smiled, taking up the pen to write. I believe Liu Zhu has the qualifications to become a true disciple. In the midst of words, Liu Ru exudes confidence. The forum moderator spent over a decade of time. The retreat from the pursuit of unachievable desires. It can't just be a matter of moving up a level. Liu Ruxu's current spiritual root, at least a 4th rank or higher. It was not far from Liu Ryan, qualified to be a true disciple. Lai Qingfeng looked at Fang Cheng in surprise. Look again at the face full of determination. Liu Ryan's relentless pursuit. Sighing softly. All right. Liu Ruxu's spiritual roots must always be tested. Let's test it in public. He took out a palm-sized round disc. Liu Ruxu has pressed her palm against it. The level of spiritual roots will be revealed. Liu Ruxu couldn't help but blush. It's difficult, isn't it? Master, my spiritual root is very low. Lai Qingfeng said, No problem. No matter how lowly, you are still my disciple. In desperation, He could only grit his teeth and step forward. Place your little hand on top. Her face was filled with frustration. He can imagine it all. The awkward moment when the second-grade spiritual root is detected. Liu Ryan stared intently at the disc. He wants to see. Liu Ruxu detected her second-grade spiritual root. Lai Qingfeng has no face left to continue serving as a true disciple. Eat, eat, eat. The disc spun around, stopped quickly, and projected a beam of light. A clear line of text hovered in mid-air. Seventh rank spiritual root bumped into it. Lai Qingfeng suddenly sat up from the chair. Lao Mu said thoughtfully, "Seventh rank spiritual root. Liu Ruzu, you have truly surprised me. I thought Liu Ruxu's talent would definitely be poor. Result, it turns out to be a sixth-grade spiritual root, even better than Liu Ryan. There is an existence at an even higher level." The Liu family members were utterly shocked. A loud gasp echoed. Liu Ruxu herself looked utterly dazed. Thal, Xiao Chen, what is going on? Changes within oneself. It must all be brought about by the equations. What are those mysterious liquids? It's still the elixir I just consumed. Bustle, bustle, bustle. Liu Ryan's bright voice retreated. A look of astonishment instantly turned pale. She shook her head in disbelief. Impossible, impossible. This is impossible. How could you possibly have a seventh-grade spiritual root? Liu Ruxu felt a bit afraid of her own manic state. Stomped behind the equation. This caught Liu Ryan's attention to Fang Cheng. Thinking about my sister's changes. It all began when she and Fang Cheng decided to tie the knot. Then I guessed something. She has secretly glanced more than once. Fang Zheng secretly handed Liu Ruxu a mysterious liquid. Also, the one that was just put in the bath box. A clearly precious elixir. It is an equation. It must be the equation that brought changes to my sister. A useless sister with a second-grade spiritual root. Become superior over her. Understand everything. Liu Ryan broke down. Tears that have been brewing in the eyes for a long time, like raindrops falling. Equation, why are you treating me this way? Lie, lie, called out 3 times. Crying, she ran out. Fang Chen looked speechless. He wrapped his arm around her shoulder. No need to blame yourself. Everything is her own choice. Lai Qingfeng observed the relationship between the two. Couldn't help but frown slightly. Da, Liu Ruxu, I still need to search for that 9-rank spiritual root in the city. These past few days. Below, get ready. Wait for me to find this person. Then follow me back to Qian sect. Liu Ruxu felt a tightness in her heart. Look at the equation beside me. Da, Master, can we also take equations as disciples? Lai Qingfeng glanced at Fang Chen. Da, first check the qualifications. If it can pass, I can consider taking you as my disciple. He handed the disc to Fang Chen. Fang Chen received it. Without hesitation, he infused spiritual power. He is a bit worried. This disc is clearly less sensitive than the bronze ruler's detection. It won't fail the test again, right? What you fear will come to you. Not long after. A phrase with no spiritual roots projected into the air. Lai Qingfeng shook his head. Da, I'm very sorry. Even if I am an elder, they have no right to admit those without spiritual roots into the mountain gate. Liu Ruxu anxiously said. And Qi Fang has skills and abilities. Oh, Lai Qingfeng's directory of color differences. Lu Zhudo, no spiritual root. Yet one can cultivate their skills. Is there really such a thing? Unheard of. Liu Zhenyan quickly said. Elder Lai, Absolutely true. The equation not only cultivates skill, and it's quite deep too, not shallow. Lai Qingfeng just smiled. In his eyes, only those above the foundation level can barely be considered warriors. Lion Kai Jing. It's just a game of pretend play for kids. A person without spiritual roots. How far can we go? At most, I swallowed the treasures of genius and earth. It seems like an unexpected practice of 3 or 4 levels. However, in order to make Liu Ruxu give up, he nodded and said, "Then I'll give the equation a chance. Show your cultivation skills." Liu Zhenyin was excited. Duh. Fang Cheng did his utmost. After experiencing so much, he has complete trust in the equation now. Who to entrust the daughter to? He can't feel at ease. Only entrusted to the equation. He felt completely at ease. So if the equation can go to Qingyan sect, that is the best. Liu Ruxu nervously clutched the hem of her skirt, more nervous than when testing my own spiritual roots. Fang Zhen also took a deep breath. I know the time has come to decide my own fate. If unable to enter the Qingyan sect, I'm afraid it's difficult for him to have a bright future in this life. I can no longer accompany Liu Ruxu forward. So he held nothing back, released a massive spiritual power of the third layer of assistance in public. Lai Qingfeng felt everything with an expressionless face. The manuscript in my heart has been revised. How should I phrase it? This ability dispelled the thought of entering the Qingyan sect. It made Liu Ruxu feel less sad, willingly return to Qingyan sect with myself. Suddenly, a surge of supportive spiritual energy. It struck him deeply. Sensing the source of spiritual power, could not help but stand up in surprise. Duji Sansang, a person without spiritual roots, can cultivate to the third level of Zhuji. He couldn't help but doubt. Is the disc broken? Checking for qualification errors. Such a young assistant at the third level, a talent that ranks among the best in the Qingyan sect. He took out a new disc again. Kidai Island. Let's recheck the spiritual roots. Feng Jian nodded. The 7th generation is being tested again. But the result is still without spiritual roots. Lai Qingfeng's gaze fixed on those 3 words. I struggled for a long time, but still couldn't figure it out. How did the equation reach such a high level? Could it be the legend? Some extremely powerful and sinister elixirs, or the method of overdrawing potential. After much thought, there is only this possibility. Such a twisted path that sacrifices life as a prerequisite. The drawbacks are severe. He immediately absorbed the thoughts of the receiving party. But Liu Ruxu pleaded, "Master, the equation awaits my gratitude like a mountain. If he cannot go to Qingyan sect, then I won't go either." Lai Qingfen felt helpless. After careful consideration, propose a compromise. Dao, this will do. I'll give the equation another chance. Before departure, I had my disciple Zhang Qizhen assess his abilities. If he can withstand 10 moves from Zhang Qizhen, it was acknowledged that he had the strength to enter the Qingyan sect. How are you? Liu Ruxu couldn't help but turn pale. Zhang Qizhen is indeed a long-time disciple of Lai Qingfeng. Achieved the 4th level of foundation establishment. Cultivation techniques. It's not even the solitary boat city or those yellow chickens and bells. Comparable. The boundary of the equation has fallen a notch. The martial arts technique has also fallen short. The 3 moves were all quite forced. Moreover, 10 moves. Lai Qingfeng is making it clear. Do not want the equation to enter Qingyan sect. Fang Jian was pleasantly surprised. No matter how difficult it is, at least it's a rare opportunity. He quickly raised his pen and said, "I accept the challenge." Liking Feng smiled, his hands sweaty. "Okay, if you can't pass. Don't blame this elder for not giving you a chance. At the same time, I hope you can persuade Liu Ruxu as well. Do not let a lifetime of feelings hinder your lifelong practice." Fang Zheng wrote down the equation. Cha, leaving with a smile, accompanied by Liking Feng. Searching for the 9th-grade spiritual roots, Liu Ruxu was anxiously stomping her feet. "Xiao Chen, how could you agree to such a deep-rooted issue? Do you want to withstand his 10 moves?" Easier said than done. The book that recalls the equation, the mysterious advanced technique of the Xuanji, has not yet been cultivated. As the dragon's claw, a thread of confidence. As long as there are 3 days, I have the confidence to fight against him. He was talking about World War I, instead of enduring 10 moves. Liu Ruxu, where can you trust? Sighed and said, "Then you should find a way to build a good relationship with the Zhongyi needle. I hope to be assessed during the examination. He can let a little water out. The equation surface agrees." Stepped outside. "Just getting ready to go to Xinglong Road. I want to quickly master the palm technique. The best way. Nature is real combat. I didn't expect that. Just arrived at the gate." I saw the palm print still lingering on his face. Zhang Zhen with a face full of annoyance. "Why are you hiding the matter about Liu Ruxu? I have been controlled by my master. You did it on purpose." "Is that right?" Fang Chen looked utterly puzzled. Tai Bai wrote, "Who has their nostrils facing the sky? Without saying a word, they want to drive my wife and me away. No one is forcing you to do this, right?" Received a slap on the face. "Don't look for reasons within yourself. Blame others instead. No wonder your master says you're foolish." Zhangyi clenched his fists in anger. "Ape Dao, how is this possible? You dare to speak to me like this?" Fang Cheng is fearless. Chen Xiling is also going on a blind date recently. Did Chen Yukyu still want to oversee things himself? Why are so many people going on blind dates recently? No more overthinking. Turning around, I headed straight for Shenlong Road. To avoid trouble. Still put on the No. 1 Yingwei mask. Rush in and rise all the way up. Upon reaching the 9th level, suddenly I heard a strange whisper in my ear. "Equation, I killed you. I will dismember you into 8 pieces. I will kill you." He quickly withdrew from the illusion in fear. Take a closer look. Liu Ru Yan stood on the 9th floor with tear-streaked cheeks, continuously battling against the projection of Chen Zhengdao in the illusion, muttering equations under his breath. Is he crazy? The equation has a black line at one end. Chen Zhendao's phantom is not so easily broken. Before long, he was defeated and withdrew. He had red eyes. To charge in again and fight, but suddenly noticed someone standing beside me. At first glance, the mask engraved with a single character, in sight. Suddenly, a look of surprise appeared on their face. I can still hear the words I kept muttering earlier. Suddenly, his face turned red. "Did you hear everything?" Fang Cheng's mouth twitched slightly. "I won't allow it again. Your matter. I won't interfere," he casually said. Liu Ryan quickly explained. "There's nothing between him and me. Don't get me wrong." He was so nervous that he didn't know what to say. "Can we see position 1 again?" He never expected this at all. "But this is how we meet." What a shame, looking at his tear-streaked face. Fang Chen pondered. "Do you want to cultivate your body technique?" Since obtaining that jade pearl, fumbled and discovered the technique from above, and the astonishing harvest beneath this statue. He felt a sense of guilt in his heart. Viz., it was actually left to Liu Ryan by that master. Yet they took it all for themselves. Why not pass on his agility? You can fill it in. Liu Ryan's face suddenly flushed red. You teach me the way of movement. Really, the equation didn't say much. Hold his hand. Close your eyes. Leave two eyes. Leave two eyes.